Shankar Sharma, you go first. Do you think this budget has done precious little for Indian markets and it will not help Indian markets to break out of near-term challenges?
No, I don't really care what it has done for the stock market. Stock market is a 2 square mile phenomenon in India. It should do good for the 2 million square miles in India. That one will have to see the fine print to see how much good that has done. But I think, just simply talking about the 5.1% and the fiscal deficit, and I heard Professor Devroy's question to Mr. Parekh on the previous reductions having been only 0.5%. I'd like to point out the kind of reductions we saw between 2005 and 2007-8 when we were down to, I think, 2.5% GDP from a previous number of something like 4%. So it's not as if 0.5% is about the maximum we have seen happen in the past in terms of the fiscal deficit reduction. Admitted that that was a very good year of growth, but even so, the fact of the matter is that we have done substantially better than 0.5% deficit reduction, even as recently as 2007-8. On the point of the growth number itself, I would agree with Mr. Parekh. I think 7.6% is probably understated a tad. But, finance minister's job is not to blow up expectations. I think he has played the game of expectation management quite well. In fact, it is highly probable that if RBI really sort of steps in and lends, in my view, a long overdue helping hand by way of reductions, we're not asking 300 basis points, even 150 basis point reduction, that itself will be quite substantial in terms of aiding GDP growth. Because imagine last year, that is the current year we are in, almost everything that could go wrong went wrong. You had the Anna Hazare movement, which completely stalled decision making, and there are estimates that it cost 1% of GDP growth itself. And, then you had high inflation, and then you had a very misplaced RBI policy of raising rates. And we have seen that the results of that has simply not happened, because my view has been that inflation could not be controlled by Mint Street. It is a global phenomenon as far as the food basket is concerned. But in the process, what you ended up doing was you ended up hitting growth, which is why this fiscal deficit has gone to 5.9%. It has nothing to do with the finance minister's problems. He has made a forecast, but the forecast has been thrown out of the window because of a successive series of rate hikes. I can understand a few, but to have done as many as what was done was excessive, to say the least. That hit growth. India's corporate numbers, obviously disappointed. That is directly affecting tax receipts. Tax receipts form the bulk of your revenues. It has become a negative spiral. If Mint Street just gives the economy a little bit of headroom, the inherent consumption boom is very, very, very strong in the economy. I mean, I am 100% sure that rural India's consumption story is not a flash in the pan. That itself will more than make up for any kind of sort of other problems that exist. So I would hold out the view that we might even top 7.6% GDP growth this year, and in the process probably end up bettering the 5.1% fiscal deficit target.
Shankar, now that budget is over, what's next?
No, it's not over, boss. Let's talk about the budget. We are not here to talk stock market. Let's talk about macroeconomics. Let's forget the stock market thing for a minute. The fact of the matter is, I completely disagree with Akash. The government's fiscal policies have been just phenomenal. Unfortunately, and I've said this a million times, and I will keep saying it till people understand the basic math of the fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit is an input number into the ultimate calculation of the debt burden on the economy and the interest burden on the economy. Just as free cash flow deficit is an input into ultimately the balance sheet of the company. I don't know why people just stop at the fiscal deficit and don't connect it to the last mile, which is the debt to GDP in the case of an economy, and the interest burden as a percentage of overall receipts in the budget. On both those counts, India has done a phenomenal job over the last 8 years. Today, our debt to GDP at the central level is just 45%. And if you recall, the finance minister said that this is 5% points lower than what was committed in the Finance Commission. Nobody is focusing on that number because that's not a sexy enough number. The fact of the matter is a 5%, which is a 10% reduction from 50% to 45% reduction in debt to GDP is a phenomenal achievement in the wake of what has been an amazingly difficult 4 years from 2008 till 2012. Remember, in this period, India has grown 7.7% CAGR in GDP, while reducing debt to GDP, while reducing interest as a percentage of overall receipts in the budget. Show me how many countries in the world have managed to achieve that. China is the only country which has grown faster, but it has now increased its debt to GDP to 155%. So you see, nobody is giving India the credit for having managed this crisis the best of any economy. Russia has reduced debt to GDP. Brazil has reduced debt to GDP. But remember, they have gone virtually at half the rate that India, in fact, less than half the rate, roughly 2.5 to 3.5%. Okay? Plus they are resource rich, which India is not. India is a resource deficient country. Put all that in context. India's fiscal consolidation, the balance sheet of India, the interest burden of India has never been better. If you combine state deficits, the total deficit comes to 62% of GDP, which used to be 86% of GDP in 2003. Who's saying India has not done a good job on the fiscal front? This year, the budget, the fiscal deficit of 5.9% just adds all of 1.3% to the debt to GDP ratio. Now that give this economy one good year, that number is going to come back. It's not a permanent addition. As we have seen that the fiscal deficit doubled from 2.5% to 5%. From in 2007-8 we were at 2.5%. Now it's 5%, and yet the debt to GDP has gone down from at that point being 52% to now 45%. My point is that let's stop focusing on fiscal deficit as the be-all and end-all measure of risk. It's an incorrect and insufficient measure. Extend it further and look at the debt stock in the economy and look at the interest burden in the economy. That is the ultimate correct way to look at the entire implication of running a deficit. And on those two fronts, both those fronts, India has looked phenomenally good. Now, in my view, going forward, you're going to see that number, the overall debt to GDP reduce dramatically over the next 3-4 years' time. And you'll also see interest as a percentage of revenues come down. And we have the math done already for that. What that will do is that, number one, it will reduce the fiscal deficit, if that is what excites people. Number two, more importantly, it will actually allow the government to do more entitlement program. And I really love this when all people from the market and from this 2 square mile keep talking about subsidy is always accompanied with the word burden. Why is it a burden? Poor people need subsidies. They need entitlement programs. As long as you have done that well and you have reduced the debt to GDP, it's a good thing to do. Akash's argument is nominal GDP growth has been boosted by inflation. I would like to correct him on that. Please go back and check inflation data for India going back many years. In India, in the last 10 years, the average roughly 7%, give or take 2% point on inflation.
Check the last 2 years.
One second, let me finish. Now it's my turn, please. One second, let me finish. The debt to GDP has not fallen only in the last 2 years. It has been falling from 2004. Look at the data in 2004, 85% has become 62%, but it was not 85% 2 years back. It was 85% 8 years back. Every successive year under this government, it has fallen. So the high inflation argument is not at all correct. That is only last 1 or 2 years. The average inflation for this entire period has been no more than 6.5%. Number one. But more importantly, please respond to me. But to my point, how has interest payment as a percentage of overall receipts fallen if your debt to GDP has declined only on a cosmetic basis? How has that ratio come down from 50% to 31% now? Please answer that question. Isn't that fiscal consolidation that you have reduced as out of 100 rupees you're receiving, you were spending 50 rupees in interest, now you're spending only 30 rupees in interest. That is pure cash flow. That is not anything to do with, with inflation rates.